Welcome to Live Review, where I review a game over the time I've played it. I'll review the first hour and then continue on until I feel I've gathered enough information about the game to drop a final review. This will be unscripted, off the top of my head analysis, and I'm doing this so I can play mini games without having to stop to write reviews and do voice work, etc, etc. So for the first hour of the Darkside Detective, I encountered a quirky game full of fun mechanics that didn't play all that much like the typical adventure game, mainly because you don't walk around or pick many things up in a normal fashion. Instead, your characters are just standing in a room and you click on things and they make comments, jokes, etc, etc. Now the story here is you play as a detective who specializes in occultist type detective work. So he is the only one in this department in Twin Lakes. Now Twin Lakes may sound familiar because it's very similar to Twin Peaks. But this game is more like X-Files, where you go in weird cases with your Deputy Dooley and try to figure out just what the hell is going on. So usually this is encounters with ghosts and strange people who can open dimensional portals, etc, etc. Now going back to the non-traditional adventure game elements, we have usually the character just standing in a room, and you click on the stuff, you get the items, you can combine items, etc, etc. It still has all the typical adventure game elements without all the animations. So instead of walking out of a room, you just click on the door and they go into the next room and they appear more like they appear in the next room. So now we're in the second hour and I can kind of see where the game is going. The game's all about very fun jokes, not necessarily completely funny all the time, but there are some things in there that'll make you chuckle. From what I can see is that the cases just get more and more elaborate, but they're not necessarily really difficult. It seems like the game is made to just be really fun and kind of breeze through the cases, and that's all good. I don't mind that at all. The story is entertaining and there's no voice acting, so it has to be entertaining or we'd be bored out of our minds trying to read every last character's lines. It's like the game wants to be a comedy show, so there's just hit and miss jokes everywhere. You're gonna laugh. There's gonna be hilarious times where you just go ha ha, but there's a good majority of the time you'll just kind of have a straight face. The best parts of the game are when Detective Dooley and Frank McQueen have their little conversations where they just make these insightful or kind of stupid remarks. The game is even filled with a lot of eclectic characters and even old writers like Edgar Allan Poe as in ghost form and stuff like that. So each mission is kind of like engaging for about 30 to 40 minutes. It seems like that's how as long as it took to beat some of them. The first mission was like 10 to 15 minutes long, but the second mission was about 30 minutes. But the game is kind of episodic, so once a case is finished, that's it. You're done with it. You don't have to worry about it, and it doesn't really push you on to playing the next case. You can this is a game where you can just jump in, play the case, drop out, and then come back later at any time, and you would not have missed anything. So it's all good in that format. The music is forgettable. I don't remember much of anything about it. Now that I think about it, I don't even remember there being a lot of music that I was interested in. Now this game gets its influences from games like Monkey Island and Simon the Sorcerer, but the jokes aren't anywhere near those. And I know that's like very hard to do anyway, but it's still not even 2 tiers below those type of games. I would say the jokes on average don't land very well, and that's okay. The game's still fun. You still get the references, but it's just not like a thing that you go into and you're going to be uproariously laughing the entire time. More than likely, you'll just chuckle or you'll smile or you'll not do anything at all because you're just trying to pass through the story. My final review is that it's just an adventure game that probably should be more on an iPad or an Android phone than it should be on a computer. And I feel like it would be a better place for it as well, maybe even on the 3DS, because there's not a lot of animation for moving around or typical adventure stuff that happens in the game. It just seems really simple, it gets to the point, and it's easy to beat, and it's like a quick playthrough. You get through it in no time and it won't be memorable for you, but the experience with it is fun. Go ahead and come through and pick up the Darkside Detective. Otherwise, stay away. It's up to you. I don't rule your life. Alright, so like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching the live review.